Bonjour, salut, and welcome to the very first world I've managed to do in Create a World, and that's Campus. So we are starting directly in Create a World because Campus is unfortunately one of the casualties of my whole transferring data from one computer to another one debacle. So I've talked about it in another video, in the previous one, in that series, in world hopping. I'm going to pin the playlist on the screen if you want to check out the other worlds. The previous one was La Fondue les Bains. So this one, yeah, I can't find the world file. So I have files for Create a World, even though I'm pretty sure it's not the latest version I've done. But it's one of the latest ones for sure, because I changed a bit that area over there. I do remember that. It was years ago. So yeah, as I've said, it's my first world I did in Create a World. Okay, let's go with the ID card first, and then I'll talk a bit more about the world itself. So Campus. Status, I would say it's done, even though I'm going to change it here. And the idea would be to have a finished version for the month of February. So by the end of February, there should be a second episode on that world, and I'll have a finished version of the world, and I'll share it because I've been asked by a Tumblr friend if I could share it, and there is some CC, but it should be shareable. Whereabouts? It's supposed to be in Brittany, so it's that region of France, just the nose. You would even go a bit further south with that area near Nantes as also part of the same cultural traditions and language. So the name Campus, it means crêpe in Breton, the regional language, and it's also a specialty, les crêpes, of that area. World type, if I remember well, it's a medium-sized island. There are quite a few sea-related activities to do there, and also it's supposed to be, so Brittany, La Bretagne, it's very well known for its rainy weather. So gameplay type, well, it's very family-oriented in my case, how I've played it, because I originally made it for my nieces themselves. 3 of my nieces live in that region, and I wanted their themselves to have some place to go back to. They were off on a holiday, quite CC-filled too. Mostly content from around the Sims 3 if you want to play Brittany-like world, as I do. Sandy has quite a few items over there on around the Sims 3. So, back to the world itself. I really wanted to have that video out for the beginning of February, because on the 2nd of February, it's Crêpe Day. It's La Chandeleur. We eat crêpe for that occasion, so it was the perfect occasion to also do a video about that world, and that's why I'm doing it right now. I'm not going really to tackle it right away, but what I like to do is do a tour of the world in Create a World, so it's not going to be that easy to hover over, because it's a bit slow, the zooming in, zooming out tool, so I'll see what I can do there. But yeah, the idea is to give you a first idea of the world, and then if you're interested, because I'm going to do a tour of the different districts and also showing you what I'm going to adjust. There are things I'm going to change so that I can upload the world. It's not ready here. I have a few things to adjust. And the idea is to share it, I don't remember if I've said it, so it's going to be empty, no buildings on it. So just like that version, yeah, well, that version, an adjusted version of that version. But yeah, just the lots placed like that, and empty lots, because I can't share the buildings I have made for the world. To start with, I can't access them because I do have the save file, but I've lost the world file that I was using in my game. And so I can't really access them. And the other thing is, even if I could, they are full of custom content from different creators. That's actually one of the main issues when I'm playing a French world or a world that is not American. There is way less content to use from the game, from the base game. For every building in town here, I've used CC in the building process of the building. So the world will be like that, but there are decor items that are from creators. For instance, I've used the curbs from Grande Lama. I'll link the page in the description of the video, and I've just recolored them. I've used textures from Nirchis here and there, and also to recolor the curve. I'm going to change this one. So yeah, what I'm hoping to do for the version that is going to be available for download is I'll hopefully be able to make a small custom content folder, or maybe even a merge CC file to install with the world, to have all the items that are there and that are CC. And also recolors. I'm going to recolor the bridge. I haven't done so yet. And maybe even the seawall here. Let's go for a quick tour of the different districts on the island, and I'm going to start with the harbor. Maybe industrial harbor. It's more because there is a small port over there. So I've actually done a brochure for that world a while ago. Let me find it. I've found it and it's in English too. So that's the I don't remember if I've said it, but it's Brittany's flag. And so yeah, that was the lighthouse, which is here. Over there, it was a small park with steps leading to the lighthouse. And then over there, I removed the huge crane that is there. That's a previous version of the world here. I didn't remember I had actually pen named it. I've got a map of the previous version. So, here. The previous version, and here was a bit different over there. This part over there did not exist. I had the ferry port here. That was because my first version was not a real ferry. It was before Island Paradise, so I had done a fake one over there. Walls are missing over there. Okay, so that was one of the first versions of the world here. So yeah, this one was a fake one. It was actually inspired by a Playmobil. I love Playmobiles. I had seen one of my catalogs, because I had catalogs. I might still have a few. I go on the website now and I look at stuff over there. But yeah, I saw that ferry boat, and so I made this one for my world over there. So it was stagnant. I mean, it couldn't move, but I was happy to have to use it as set dressing. When I was pretending that some visitors had arrived on the island. So that's actually my sister's SIMS elf and her family at the time, her 3 daughters, and that was the ferry station. That was the first version. So here is the version we have now. That is a port for a ferry boat. The ferry station was there. These were for, I'm saying were, but they still are container lots. So I moved it here. and I removed the crane. It was a bit much. So one thing I'm going to do on that area, I'm not going to work on it too much, but what I'm going to do is replace, because these signs, they are very neat. They are from around the SIMS 3 and they are French road signs. Is it the regular one? It must be the regular one, because I also have the one where it's a skating rink. And this one here is a parking lot. You know what? I think I have a picture. So a bit of story time. Fellow Sims 3 player, Kim, who has a website. I think it's Kimmy's Simmies. I'll link it in the description box below the video. And she has quite the intricate gameplay. Her main town is an edit of Sunset Valley, and it's Honeycomb Valley. And one of the Sims, Nathan, and my niece, Cam's Sim self, it's getting complicated, they became fast friends during a shared holiday. And so my real niece, Cam, invited that Sim over to Simself town for a few days. So they were kids, but Cam is 20 now. Time has flown by. So at one time they were actually roller skating here. Let me find the pictures. Here they are. So that's the previous version. I've changed a bit the parking lot since then, but yeah, the idea was to have a parking lot, and then that sign must be the one where it's actually a roller skating rink that is invisible. So they're skating over there. Let's see. Yeah, it's a bit of a close-up here. Ooh, there was a bird just flying by here. So here they were very cute. So that was the idea for that lot. This one, what was it already? Oh, maybe it's, you know what? This one was a fire station. So I moved the fire station here. So anyway, what I wanted to say is that the signs I've used here, they are quite tall compared to the Sims, and somebody has done smaller ones that can be used directly in Creator World. So I'm going to replace all the signs by smaller ones, and they are French signs, so that's great. And then those poles here, I'm thinking I'm going to have them to lower them a bit on the ground, because they are quite tall too, but they are very French looking, very Parisian actually. So that's mostly what I'm going to change here. So here I had, okay, it's an academy, but it's actually a garage, gas station. So one of the first lots I did for the island. Again, older version of the lot, so that you can see that it's not the same textures on the ground. But yeah, it's there. And what was her name? She was the owner, and she lived just next door in that house. Morgan, here she is. I loved her dog. It was so cute. And so that was inside, and there was a boxing ring in the back of the building. Okay, then let's go across the bridge. So I'm going to change the bridge, and over there, here, had a small cafe with a view over the huge waterfall. So I'm going to keep a waterfall there, but it's going to change quite drastically so that there is only like just a small stream of water trickling down to the inlet over there. Okay, so across the bridge that I'm going to recolor, we are downtown. Here we go. So again, I'm going to change the signs, the road signs, and also the texture here. It's a bit too bright for the rainy vibe I'm going for the atmosphere, the whole atmosphere of the island. And I'm going to go with something a bit darker, I think, a bit grayer. And I already have an idea, but when I'm going to change that, it's going to change also, the road is going to be all brown, because I don't have the texture at the ready in the original folder, since I've changed computer to the original files are not where the address indicates. So it's going to turn all brown. I can show you what I'm going to do off screen. So I think it's this one here. So already you can see that it's, all black here because the address doesn't work. So I already know that I like to change it with, so these are from Aura Skies. So I'm going to change it with this one, just the sidewalk here. And if I do that, turns brown. So I need to change everything. But so I think I'm going to use either this texture or I'm going to recolor slightly the texture. It's also the same for the pavement over there. Texture. So it's going to be this one. Edit. Here we go with the new one. So you can't see it where the lots were placed because they were placed over the previous texture. So they are retaining that. But if we zoom in, I think there might be here. Here we go. So I'm going to go with something a bit grayer here. Of course, I'm going to correct the road, and also I'll have to recolor the curb because I did it with Nexus texture there. So those are different elements you can see here, and it's pretty cool because it gives some depth to the road. So you can see it here, there. So I'll finish recoloring the road extra. Of course, also do I think, retaining walls over there. And the signs. So that's about it. I'm not going to do too many things there, I don't think, except if I see something big. Lot sizes, mostly they are pretty standard. And, I forgot to show you a picture with the buildings I have. So let's see. So that was City Hall, that is placed over there with a park where there was a gazebo, I think, to get married, but also there is a wedding hall at City Hall, because in France you get married at City Hall. You can have a ceremony elsewhere afterwards, but you need to officialize it. It needs to be at City Hall. Here is the gazebo. That's the old town here. So this is the old town. So the church was there, and that big lot over there, inside the bluff, it was stairs leading up to cliff top. The incline was quite steep. Then here there was overlooking the ocean. And I've put there is a distant terrain over there. And this here was the castle. Very eccentric couple with their adult son who was living there, that follow that road over there. So there are a few lots here, residential lots, and this one was where, I think it was this one, or this one, where I placed a house made by Dee. I was part of a forum to ask if she could build a house for two other friends, SIMS, who live there with Doggy Picasso. And so the two friends who live there are Manu, and not a cat, Sam Cat. And then at the end of the road, there is the waterfall that is going to change a bit. And then still on the same level over there, here it was La Cidrerie, so the cider nectary, the cider winery, nectary, the nectary. So the nectary, but with an apple tree orchard over there. And it was overlooking Fort Bizarre, which is inspired by Fort Boyard, an ancient fort that is located a bit more in the southern part of the Atlantic Ocean, but off the west coast of France. And it is a fort that is used for a very popular game show. Started in the early 90s. So it's been a while. I think it's still ongoing. Here there is a small village. So again, the lots, they're not big, they're not huge, because I don't like huge lots, but they are, you know, standard sizes. And then let's go down that road over there, that winding road, and go to the... Oh, let's go first over there. So that's the beach area. So there are two main lots, one here and one a bit more hidden at the end of that trail over there here. And two smaller ones here, an overlook. And this one I used to have the surfing station in the sea. And then I don't think I'm going to do any big changes there or adjust anything in those districts except for the road signs. And also if I've noticed something that could hinder the gameplay. But for this one, I'm not sure if I'm not going to do. So the idea here was to have a salt marsh, and I wanted a colorful one. So I did a few pond areas where the Sims can actually walk, I think. Yeah, around them at least. And then these they are accessible. I don't think. Let's see the routing here. So yeah, I've just blocked when the incline was a bit too dangerous, so that they would not go there. It would be weird to have them there. But they can go walk around the marsh over there, and a few bird spawners, if I remember well. So these are also supposed to be part of the salt marsh, a bit more realistic, I think, but I really wanted those hints of color, of different colors there, a bit more fall-looking, I guess. This was a factory, a sea salted caramel butter factory. So I even did a tour. Oh, with Nathan, actually. When he was there visiting Cam Cam, the whole family did a tour of the factory. I was so sure they would get bored. I was expecting the kids to be quite rowdy during the tour, but no, they all behaved. I was impressed. And they were very cute, following along with the whole tour. And at the end, there is a sampling of the goodies. On that picture here, I think almost everything is from around the Sims. This is from the store. So is this, and so the chairs are from the game. But I think the tables also are from Sandy's website. So almost everything here. So I'm going to leave that lot for sure, but the one I'm not sure about is this one. I wanted the Sims to have the opportunity to tour the marsh. And to do that, I used the gondola set from the store, and I did a whole fake tour. I did a smaller tour of the marsh here. Okay, I've only found that picture. I think it's just the one that is on my Tumblr, so I don't know where I've put the other ones. I used to take a lot of pictures, so that was one of the reasons why I'm doing videos now. I'll try to find them for next time. But yeah, the idea, so that's the gondola set here. I couldn't customize it more than that, so in my mind it was like a typical small riverboat of that area that is used in the marsh. So that lot, I'm not sure. If you have an opinion on it, don't hesitate to let me know. I also used the meal set from the store here, because I remember I did a building. Okay, and then this district is not the last one. There is still one to go, but this one is the fishing village, and there used to be a bridge over there, but I removed it because it was a bit silly to have a big bridge to link the main island to that small island, which is going to be the last district, and where I used to have more lots and a road wrapping around the island over there. And I removed that. Yeah, I've kept that lot here where I used to have the campground. So it's still the campground. And I almost did a hotel, but I removed it because I wanted to keep it a bit wilder than the main island. A sort of natural preserve where Sims could go on a hike. But yeah, so that's the last district here. Again, I've got a lot of pictures and stories and memories with that world. So I've taken a bit long already, but I'm going to stop there for today. Next time we get in the world, hopefully it's going to be done and ready to be shared. And hopefully all the links in the description box below. If I've forgotten anything, don't hesitate to let me know, I'll add it. Oh, also, it's another retired world in my game, so it's a world I'm intending on going back to play, and so I'm not going to change it too much. I'm just adjusting a few things that have been bothering me when I was playing mostly. So that said, that's going to be it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. À bientôt. Kenavo.